We are officially back with season 3 of The Boys. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So we start the season off with the Soups watching a movie about themselves. Dawn of the Seven. Very obvious reference to Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. I did not expect to see Charlize Theron to be playing the recast of Stormfront. That was a surprise. We then move forward to the boys and see what's up with them after season 2. Yui is now in the public eye and everyone knows him as Starlight's boyfriend. Nice to see Yui moving on with his life. Meanwhile, Butcher, Frenchie and Kimiko are tracking down a soup called Termite, aka the Ant-Man parody. I've never felt so much discomfort while watching something. Somehow the boys always just find a way for things to get more and more ridiculous, and I can tell from this moment right here that season 3 is going to be a wild ride. Anyways, we get a look at Yui working at the Federal Bureau of Superhuman Affairs. He has gotten very close with Victoria Newman that he even lets her eat his bagel. I don't know about you, but nobody touches my food. Fast forward a bit, we get a closer look at Butcher and MM's personal lives. Butcher is still checking up on Ryan and MM is wanting to be a part of his daughter's life again. Meanwhile, Stan Edgar has now created a temporary compound V formula that can turn anyone into a soup for 24 hours. And he wants to market them to the military for hundreds of millions of dollars. Now to the juicy bit of episode 1. Stan has a meeting with Homelander and Starlight where he says the board has agreed to promote Starlight to co-captain, and of course Homelander takes this very well. Not only that, but he decides to body shame A-Train as well.
Guess you wanted to cram in as much fat fuck as possible, huh?
There's also another side story with Starlight hosting a reality show and Yui starts feeling a bit insecure because one of the finalists used to date Starlight. Cut back to Homelander in his room where we get to see the aftermath of what happened to Stormfront. She is honestly so helpless, but hey, at least she still has one hand, so you know what that means.
Here you go. See, they want me weak, castrated. They should be worshiping me.
We are nearing the end of the episode now, where we find out how Butcher and Frenchie have been getting their information. Turns out that Butcher and Queen Maeve have secretly been seeing each other this whole time. So apparently there is a weapon that can kill Homelander, because this weapon was used to kill Dean Winchester, Soldier Boy. But Maeve knows how dangerous this is, so she gives Butcher some Temp V to help him on his journey. But Butcher has an existential moment, so Homelander gives him a visit and they have a nice chat over tea. Finally, we end the episode with Yui following Victoria because he thought she was being stalked by an old friend, only for Yui to find out that he has been working with a soup the whole time, but not just any soup, the one who killed Congress in season 2. Overall, a good start to season 3. They are setting up the storylines very well. So let's just hop into episode 2. We begin the episode with Butcher having a nightmare, so he tries to calm himself down, but he gets calmed down by the kid who murdered his wife. Today is a big day though, it's Homelander's birthday. So he wants Stormfront to wish him, but he doesn't get his birthday wish, so he walks away all salty. On the flip side, MM was having a pretty good day until Butcher decided to swing by and get him to rejoin the boys. But it doesn't take much convincing because MM seems very interested in the whole Soldier Boy plot. So Frenchie and Kimiko track down Soldier Boy's old girlfriend to see what really happened, but of course that went as well as you'd expect. Meanwhile, Yui rage quits while he tries to open a jar of mustard, but instead ends up with mustard and ketchup. Fast forward to Homelander and Starlight practicing their lines before the performance. Homelander gets mad at Starlight for not wanting to sing for him, so Mr. Edgar puts Homelander in his place like a good boy. Back to Yui being all sneaky. He visits an orphanage for soups where he tries to find out more about Victoria Newman. Turns out she was adopted by Stan after she accidentally blew her parents' heads off. Now we check in on Butcher taking a leak next to gunpowder, and like all men do, they start comparing their guns.
That Vought VR-15, whew. Smooth, trigger pull, smooth.
So Butcher decides to blackmail him with evidence about Soldier Boy doing inappropriate things to a young Gunpowder. Obviously he doesn't take this well, so they have a gunfight in a parking lot, but Butcher luckily gets away. We are now at the top of a building where a young girl wants to take her life, but don't worry, Homelander is there to save you. maybe. Turns out the timing couldn't have been any worse because Homie sees that Stormfront killed herself, so now he forces the girl to jump. Back to Butcher. He has now taken the V and is getting all the information he can from Gunpowder in the nicest way possible. Turns out no one knows what happened to Soldier Boy except Grace Mallory. And to finish this episode, Homelander has a meltdown on live TV. Oh, and A-Train has a new suit for cultural reasons or whatever. We are getting to the thick of it now, so let's see what Season 3 has in store for us. Kicking this episode off is Naked Homelander. I'm pretty sure this is the first time we see him outside of his super suit. Anyways, Ashley has good news for him. Apparently people love it when superheroes go crazy, so now people love Homelander again. Now the boys have reunited, so Yui's first request is for Kimiko to break his arm so he has a legit reason for missing work. Bold move, but I'll take it. They pay Ryan a visit and we find out that Soldier Boy is the one who killed MM's family. Who saw that one coming? So now we get flashbacks about everything that happened during Mallory's time in the war. By the way, it turns out that having soups in the military wasn't the best idea. Who knew? Meanwhile, Homelander brings back the Deep, so Starlight threatens to release the video, but Homelander ain't scared anymore.
I mean, sure, I'll lose everything, but then I'll have nothing to lose.
We also get some backstory about Black Noir. He hides his face because of the damage. Makes sense. This whole secret keeping really pisses Butcher off, so he does what he does best. He makes everyone around him feel terrible. Homelander has prepared a nice meal for the Deep. I swear, if Homelander never became a soup, then he would have become Jigsaw. After the disgusting visuals of the Deep trying to eat an octopus, we get back to the one thing that everyone is excited for, and that is the reality show. Starlight tried convincing Supersonic to leave, but he refused, so he ends up winning the show. And oh no, it's not over. Homelander and Starlight are now in love, according to Vought. I really did not see that one coming. Oh, and the boys are going to Russia to find out what happened to Soldier Boy. So overall, I'm really loving Season 3 so far. I would have done reactions to each episode, but unfortunately I wouldn't have been able to get each reaction up on time. So I thought I'd just do a breakdown of each episode and share my thoughts along the way. If there's anything else that I should have spoken about that I didn't speak about, then please leave that in the comments. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you guys in the next one.